Hello there, Winterers. So this is week 1, the breath enquiry. And once you get used to doing this, you can just have this on as a recording. You don't need to see me. But maybe the first couple of times, if you want to just stick with it and run through the recording, you're going to be lying down. So you could even do this in bed if you like. Nice one to do in the morning or in the evening before you're going to sleep. Super straightforward. We're going to have effortless rest or constructive rest pose, which is lying down. And I'll just give you a quick demo. Once you get used to that, you can just fast forward this bit of the recording and just go to the inquiry section. So for constructive rest, you're going to have your bum fairly close to your heels. Bring your back down onto the floor. Have a little wriggle around. Now, some of you might want like a little blanket or a cushion for the head. You want to be so that your chin isn't kind of firing up to the ceiling, so it's slightly tucked in. Take your feet quite wide and then knock your knees in together, and that just supports the lower back. You're going to start with one hand on your belly, elbow on the floor, and then the other hand just somewhere near the chest or the collarbones, somewhere where you can just feel your body and feel the breath on your body. So this is your start position, okay? And then I'm just going to talk you through it. So it's super simple. So take a little bit of time to get yourself set up so you're going to be comfortable. Also make sure you're going to be warm enough because you're not going to be moving. And it's about, 5-10 minutes or so. So make sure that you're going to be warm enough as well while you're here. Okay, so if you need to, pause the recording, get yourself comfy, okay? Get yourself set up into that constructive rest pose, and then we'll get started. So just finding that comfortable position and allowing the body to settle into stillness. So just taking a few moments to kind of arrive at the inquiry. And just kind of whatever's going on in your mind, just let it keep going. Doesn't matter what kind of state you're in. You don't have to be chilled out to do this at all. So if you're super busy, absolutely fine. Just kind of dive straight in here. So as you're settling, the body is beginning to still. So just beginning to notice your breath. You're just beginning to notice the breath, and you've got your hands on your body. So just beginning to tune in to where can you feel your breathing. So just beginning to notice where can you feel the breath in your body. So just using your awareness to notice the sensation of breathing. So you might notice it perhaps in the nostrils if you're breathing in and out through the nose. You might notice it in the throat. You might feel the chest moving. Or you might feel it lower down in the body, closer to the abdomen. So just using the hands on the body to see if you can literally feel the breath in your body. You're just using your absolutely regular, effortless breath. So we're not trying to change the breath. We're not trying to breathe quicker or slower. We're just seeing exactly what we've got right now. So just noticing what you can feel, the physical sensation of breathing. So just using your awareness to follow each breath. Noticing where you can feel the breath in the body. Once you've kind of got a sense of that, if it's comfortable, you can either leave the hands on the body, or if you want to move the hands away, absolutely fine, just so the arms can be comfortable. So we're now going to move our attention to see if we can refine our awareness and notice where does the breath seem to originate. Is there kind of like an epicenter for each breath? So we've become aware of the sensation of breathing. We're now trying to refine that down to see if there's kind of like a center point or an origin point to each breath. So gently, curiously noticing, is there a beginning? Is there an origin point for each breath. Can you begin to tune into the beginning of each breath? And again, just let the breath move by itself. We're not controlling it. We're not forcing it. It's just the regular breath that we've got. So noticing the origin of each breath. You can kind of check in with yourself. Notice if you're trying too hard. Jaw should be nice and relaxed, shoulders relaxed, belly soft. And if you feel you're kind of tensing up at all, maybe you're just trying too hard. So just relax, relax. We're looking for the origin of the breath. Just noticing where you can feel the beginning of each breath. Now just take your time and begin to move your attention and notice the frequency of your breathing. Again, we're not changing it. We're just observing and noticing. So at this moment in time, just noticing whether you're breathing quite quickly or whether you're breathing quite slowly. So we're noticing the frequency, the pace of the breath. And whatever rate you're breathing at is perfectly okay. On average, our rate of respiration is about somewhere in between 12 to 20 breaths per minute. So, there's quite a big range there for an average rate of breathing. And obviously, as things begin to slow down, once you're still, you may find that you've actually got a slower rate of breathing. So just noticing whether you have a sense that your breath is quite quick or whether your breath is quite slow. And we're not changing it. We're just seeing what we've got, noticing how it is. Now just move your attention to the inhale and the exhale. And just begin to kind of tune in and notice if there's any difference between the in-breath compared to the out-breath. So as you begin to tune into each part of the breath, the inhale and then the exhale, you might notice that one part of the breath may be quicker or slower compared to the other portion of the breath. One part of the breath might feel easier than the other. So just kind of noticing and comparing and contrasting your in-breath compared to your out-breath. And again, this is totally the natural breath, just whatever you've got right now. We're not changing it, we're not doing anything funky with it, just noticing the inhale compared to the exhale. And it may be that they seem very similar. Now bring your attention to the texture of each breath. So each full breath, how does it feel? Does it feel quite smooth? Does it feel quite easy to breathe? Or is it a little bit difficult? Maybe a little bit ragged or uneven? Perhaps it feels quite steady. Maybe it feels a little bit tight or restricted. So just tuning in and noticing the texture of each breath. Now noticing the depth of your breath. Are you breathing deeply? Or has your breath become quite shallow? You can find once you've settled, once you've kind of stilled the body and relaxed, that you may find your breathing will become quite quiet, will kind of almost fade away. So just noticing the depth of your breath, and we're not trying to deliberately breathe deeply. We don't need to. We're just breathing naturally, just our regular breath right now. But just paying attention to whether the breath seems deep or whether the breath seems quite shallow. Now bring your attention to the quality of your breath. So if you were to kind of put the whole experience of your breath into one word or a few words, what might spring to mind? Or if kind of like a picture or an image would work for you to describe the quality of your breath, what might kind of just pop up there? Does the quality of the breath feel quite expansive, quite easy? Or does it feel more difficult, more challenging? Does the breath feel like it's hard work? Or does the breath feel absolutely entirely natural? Does the breath feel like it's kind of difficult to kind of even to get hold of with words or a picture? So just for yourself, noticing the quality of your breath, how would you describe it in a word or words or a picture to yourself? Now, let go of trying to concentrate. So just let go of trying to concentrate on the breath. Just let yourself settle here. There's no rush. There's no need to move quickly. We're just going to stay here for a few moments and just allow everything to settle. So just letting go of that effort of concentration, that effort of the breath enquiry. And just allowing yourself to rest here and just let the breath move by itself. So the body can be still and the breath just moves through the body. We don't have to do anything. The effortless breath. So as we settle here, the breath just moves in. The breath moves out entirely at its own pace. You can just settle here and allow the breath to rise and to fall. Allowing the breath to come and go, to ebb and flow like a wave through the body. Gently expanding and then relaxing each breath. Breath by breath, moment by moment, effortlessly breathing. So if you just want to stay here and relax or even just go to sleep now, if you're doing this before bedtime, feel free just to turn this off and settle down. But if you're doing this earlier in the day and you're going to move on, you might want to just begin to gently connect with your fingers and your toes and give them a bit of a wriggle. You might want to have a stretch or a deeper breath in, whatever feels good. Maybe just bend the knees and draw them in towards the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. And then when you're ready, just ease yourself over onto one side or the other and then press yourself up into a seated position. Your breath enquiry is complete. Thank you so much.